Hello, dear students. Now let us understand about the types of working capital in this session. So, again, working capital is nothing but the day-to-day operations of the business. For running that, again, you need some additional fund, additional cash in hand with you, and that is actually called as working capital. It is also called as operating capital. Okay, so without this kind of capital you cannot run your daily operations, okay, in your organization. So let us understand the different types. So first one is gross working capital. So this type of capital is basically the amount of a company has invested in assets. Assets like any kind of resources, okay, it might be land, it might be building, it might be machineries or even labors, okay. So many equipments are there in your organization, right? And that should be quickly convertible into cash, okay. So the best example we can say as stocks, which where we can say highly convertible, high liquidity in nature. Okay, so where this category comes under obviously gross working capital. Next is net working capital. So net working capital is like the difference between the assets as well as current liabilities. Okay, so that end result it might be positive or negative. Actually, that shows the company's liquidity position. Okay, it is not must that definitely it should be in positive in nature. No, not like that. Okay, so the final, the requirements, the final result, either it may be positive or negative working capital. It depends upon that how you are running your business in a smoother form. Okay, so where again the main need of doing all such things is to meet short-term obligations, financial obligations, in the sense probably you are in the need of like paying your money to your suppliers, okay, within a short span of time. Next, so permanent working capital, it is also called as fixed working capital. Okay, so why? So the minimum amount of funds that must be in cash or else in any current assets form. Okay, where you should have that. The reason behind that is to cover all the kind of liabilities, current liabilities. Okay, so many payables that you have in hand, right? So all such things that you should cover. You should pay all certain things. Okay, so that is a thing called as permanent working capital. So this is actually, it depends upon the size as well as the growth of the business. Okay, the main thing, the bigger the business, the more fixed or permanent working capital will be needed. Okay, so based on the size also it differs. And next is temporary working capital. Again, it is also called as, you can say as variable, fluctuating or cyclical. Okay. So the difference between net and permanent, that is the main thing of this permanent working capital. So next, regular working capital. This is the least amount of capital required to meet current working expenses. Okay. So you need not to pay any or should have a high amount or even lakhs, somehow in thousands also is more than enough for this regular working capital. That is why they said as least amount. Okay. See here. So it includes salary and wage. Yes, wages such as all kind of supplier payments, overhead cost, all certain things, okay, comes under this regular. Next one is reserve margin working capital. So it is also called as like a safety cushion. Okay, so amount of rainy day funds sent aside, like you cannot predict anything in future, right? So any kind of natural disaster strikes, layoffs, inflation, anything may happen in our environment. So to balance all such things, definitely you should have this reserve margin working capital. And next, seasonal working capital. So what is this again? So any kind of products, commodities, it varies like it varies from season to season, right? So somehow some period the season will be in very peak, or sometimes it will be in very down stage. So based on that also your working capital requirements will be high sometimes and will be low some other times. Special working capital. What is this special? So it is included under temporary working capital. Any kind of unforeseen situations you cannot predict. Again, the same thing. Okay. So like accidents or marketing or advertising campaigns, you cannot say that as actually this is also very important. Okay. So to cover all certain things, also you need to have some special kind of working capital funds with you. Okay. So these are all the different types of working capital. Thank you all.